7 signs that you learned to suppress your emotions as a child. You may have learned to suppress your emotions as a child if you had a dysfunctional upbringing where not much empathy was shown. Growing up, maturing and becoming an adult. Is there a more complicated and challenging process? The answer is no. In fact, one of our greatest challenges as humans is reaching maturity with sufficient self-confidence and emotional intelligence. This is how you develop your potential and are able to establish satisfying relationships. But it is difficult if you learn to suppress your emotions as a child. It is a sad and frequent reality that many adults are emotionally numb. This term refers to the scars, injuries, and psycho-emotional changes caused during their upbringing. This is often due to unqualified carers who change many areas of the child's development. When caregivers attack or underestimate a child's needs, it actually affects the child's recognition of his own feelings. So much so that it is common to see men and women unconsciously inhibiting what they feel on a daily basis. They process any inner feeling or sensation with discomfort or even shame. Therefore, it is crucial to find out if you are experiencing this type of emotional numbness. Emotional neglect is invisible to a society, but it is the kind that has the greatest consequences. You usually integrate the emotional inhibition schema in your childhood. It must be disabled. Signs that you learn to inhibit emotions as a child. A child can be well fed, go to school well dressed and even be diligent in his studies. But there is a kind of invisible abuse that tends to go completely unnoticed in society. It is invisible neglect. In this type of interaction, parents neglect or even violate their children's emotional needs. Research conducted by the Massachusetts General Hospital Neurodevelopmental and Psychiatric Genetics Unit, USA, claims that emotional neglect in childhood increases the risk of depression in adolescence. However, it seems that children are not aware of this problem. If you were born into an environment where your emotional needs were neglected or criticized, you likely normalized this dynamic. After all, you had nothing to compare it to. Consequently, you integrated a schema in which you considered what you felt to be unimportant. Also, you won't have realized anything was wrong until you were an adult. It is only then that you realize that your parents have taught you to suppress your emotions. Here are the signs. One area where you experience difficulty due to your pattern of emotional inhibition is in relationships. 1. The feeling of emptiness is a constant in your life if you learn to inhibit the emotions as a child. If you had to express how you feel right now, you wouldn't be able to find the right words. Having said that, the only image that pops into your mind is one of emptiness. You experience it on a somatic level in your stomach, your throat, your hands, etc. It is an overwhelming feeling that fills you with discomfort and frustrates you as you are unable or do not know the method to get in touch with your emotions to understand what you're feeling. 2. You feel inadequate. When you reached adulthood, you realized that something was wrong with you. There was something preventing you from being happy and feeling good about yourself. Therefore, today you do not like your character, your way of being. In addition, you compare yourself to others, and believe that you lack spontaneity, self-confidence and feeling security. 3. You feel uncomfortable in many social situations. Naturally, you like to have friends, go out, socialize occasionally and enjoy connecting with others. But these associations with relaxation, expression of joy and radiance do not fit with you. This means that your surroundings describe you as cloud. But in reality, you are more uncomfortable than shy. You feel like a fish out of water. 4. Your partner tells you that you are cold or too complex. Often your partner gets frustrated with you because he/she says he/she needs more from you. He/she asks for closeness and emotional intimacy, and for you to express your feelings and create more contact with him/her. But you don't know how to do it. It's a language you don't understand, and you feel lost and even angry. This means that you are always waiting for your partner to do it for you. In fact, he/she should show you affection to guess what you need. There is no point in him/her demanding excessive emotional validation since you don't know how to offer it. 5. You choose silence instead of expressing what you feel or need. If you learn to suppress your emotions as a child, you will have a really hard time expressing your anger, disappointment, everything that hurts you or makes you sad or tormented. You hide in the depths of your being. It is as if you have thrown these things into a well and never want to see them again. You suppress what you need because you assume that what you feel is not important. You do it because that's what you learned as a child. If you have suffered this way, you have learned to suppress your emotions and developed a really high self-criticism towards yourself. You feel inadequate. 6. You don't value yourself or put others first. If you think your feelings are irrelevant, you don't respect yourself as a person either. This is the universal principle of suffering that you must keep in mind when raising your own children. By validating, providing presence and relevance to your children's needs, you will make them understand that their experiences are important and that they deserve others to take them into account. If you are raised with indifference, you live with the emptiness of low self-esteem. It often makes you anticipate what others want more than what you yourself need. 7. Poor emotional communication as a result of learning to suppress emotions as a child. When you are used to inhibiting your emotions, your communication becomes immature. You are, e.g., unable to have discussions or make agreements. You usually get angry immediately and cut off any dialogue because you don't know how to make yourself understood. You juggle words to try to be confident in front of others, but it never works. Also, the most intimate conversations make you uncomfortable because you don't know what to say or how to express yourself. You would like to master the language of emotions more, but you are aware that you have serious limitations in this regard. When you have learned to suppress your emotions as a child, it is extremely difficult for you to communicate and achieve intimacy with others. How to overcome your emotional inhibition. The emotional inhibition schema is a distortion from childhood that you can reframe, heal and correct. Indeed, it is never too late to empower yourself in the proper exercise of emotional intelligence. Getting in touch with what you feel, identifying it and naming it is a big step forward. Next comes the most crucial exercise, knowing what to do with your feelings. It is important to learn some techniques regarding emotional communication and boosting self-esteem. As mentioned, growing up in an environment where your feelings were ignored or punished causes you to invalidate yourself. Repairing your view of yourself is of the utmost importance in order to build healthier relationships and feel worthy of working towards your dreams.